Okay, so we're chatting to Antonia Norman, UN Women Global Lead. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in human rights, gender, and tech specifically.
Fabulous. Well, I work a lot with women, entrepreneurs, and startups and SMEs, but also in the corporate space. I've been working with startups and corporate for over 20 years now, and I've been very blessed to work with Virgin and with the United Nations as well, coming from the banking sector and petroleum. And of course, we address challenges like the gender divide and the tech divide and the critical skills divide when it comes to women in corporate and in business as well.
Fantastic. Okay. And so, based on all of that experience, and there's a lot, what do you think is really the need out there, specifically in terms of the gaps and challenges that women are facing?
There's a huge need. We're not going to solve overnight the challenges that we've brought along for generations. There's a lot of mindset challenges and stereotypes and trends. And so honing in on the real challenges with women in business is that there is a huge divide with critical skills. We have an opportunity to get more trained up when it comes to leadership skills, management skills, confidence skills, emotional intelligence, and that factors into business primarily as well as into your professional corporate space. So I believe it's that. I believe that there's certain mindsets like imposter syndrome where people come on board and they think, I don't belong. I don't know if this is for me. And that subsequently stems from fear. Right? We're so afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
And so we'd rather step back. You notice, Nicole, we go into that fight, flight, fawn, freeze mode. And oftentimes with women, there's a fear, there's a frightfulness, and we want to flee.
Absolutely.
So I find that in the boardroom, and especially in business, that hinders our growth. Primarily, it hinders our growth. The other thing is there isn't enough opportunity like funding available for women in business, especially in the tech space. And if you ask me why, I'd say it's because of the stereotypical thinking.
Yes.
And also, looking back at ourselves as women, we're not investor ready. So we're not going out and making sure we're networking in the right places, we're having the right conversations, and we're making ourselves fundamentally investor ready.
Absolutely.
So those are the few challenges we're facing.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that will resonate with many women that you talk to.
Yes.
So considering all of that, how do we bridge that gap? What are some of the solutions that are out there?
I feel that venture capital is a great way of providing a platform, a vehicle for funding, and to make it applicable for more women-owned businesses. So, for example, in Serbia, we're starting a venture capital studio. We should focus on how certain biases are impacting women-owned businesses. The stereotyping has to stop. So the first thing is venture capital to make funding more available for women-owned businesses. Also to introduce STEM early into childhood, into the schools, start from the roots and introduce science and math and all of that technology from schooling that will encourage more young girls and then subsequently women to get into that field. We find that 25% of women are in the tech space at the moment, and that's a very small number.
Yeah.
If you look around us here today at the summit, you'll find that there's a huge disparity in numbers at this tech summit. And primarily, when you look at the winners and the people that are pitching, it's very male dominated, and it really isn't a male problem.
Yeah.
It's a female situation that we need to then focus on. Training needs to be provided. We need to give our women access to networks, access to resources, access to finance and marketing, partnerships, and mentors. And a message I always say to the women that I work with is don't be afraid to fail. It's okay. We are emotionally more astute and we're a little bit, soft on the inside, but we have to win with purpose and move with purpose. So don't be afraid to say, I don't know, can you put me in touch with this person?
Yeah.
So handle that fear of rejection and be more robust is important.
Fantastic. So I think in closing, what are those like non-negotiables for progressing women in business, in tech? What are those things that really must happen?
We need to open up our doors to encourage more women to join the tech space, to join leadership positions. Because if we can lead successfully and without fear, we can then go into the tech space, into the agriculture space, we can move up the ranks in corporate. So critical skills is very important. Having those conversations, that needs to happen. We need to partner more women-owned businesses with mentors that are seasoned. We need to have more engagements, like smaller than this, but platforms for engagements that, of course, the United Nations provides very nicely and across the globe. And we need to encourage these engagements, not with just a few alpha females, because that happens quite often, but to open it up to young women across the board, different mindsets, different opinions, and try to bring women more together without leaving the men out, because I think we can't create a divide, right?
Yeah.
We need each other. And so we can leverage off each other. And I said this morning why mentorship is so important. I'd like to challenge women tech businesses, women-owned businesses across the world. Find yourself a few mentors that can help you in your pursuit of progression. And if you're stuck in a corner, speak about it. Go and find. If you have to be in an island alone, you're not going to sit under a tree. You're going to start walking and you start to be resourceful. So we need to start being more resourceful. But leaders like ourselves need to do something about creating that platform and that space for women to be more robust and encouraged to bloom almost and do the best.
Thank you so much. I mean, this has been a short conversation, but so insightful. Clearly, your expertise and your experience can add so much value to this conversation. But for now, thank you so much, and we'll continue the journey.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.